How's it going, everybody out there in internet land? Yeah, man. So is that recording? Yeah, okay, it is. But anyway, like, apologies for the sunglasses. I know I'm inside and everything, and it's not the '80s anymore. But my eyes are really, really fucked up. They look really, really ugly. I don't really know what's wrong with it, so I'm just gonna, I'm just wearing these because, I would have waited for them to clear up a little bit. But I'm super excited to talk about True Detective Season 2 before tonight's episode airs because I think it's the last one of the season. And yeah, man, I gotta tell you, I'm not such a fan of the second season. Like, I really, really like the first one. It was expert shit. It was really cool. But the second one, oh, nice. A little Americano action once again. The second one is just it's not that great. It's like it's really, really lacking compared to the first season. Like, and I there's a few reasons why. I think primarily, like, one of them anyway, it's just uh the first season, it was written, directed, edited, and photographed by the same, like, four guys. Like, the entire season was all, like, 8 episodes, 9 episodes, and so it gave it like a consistency of style and, like, tone and everything like that. And they could, like, work together and, like, play off each other probably to make sure everything looked nice, but, like, and, like, was like a consistent, like, narrative, like, thing, just kind of like a movie, like, just a super long, like, 9-hour movie, which is what, that felt like. And season 2 doesn't have that. They have a bunch of guest directors. They brought on a third writer who's just like a writer of novels. So it's I think they have cinematographers consistent, I think. I don't know. I was doing a little research on it, and then, like, on IMDb and stuff, and I just completely forgot everything I looked up. So yeah, but yeah, that's, like, there's an inconsistency about it, and, like, I know what everyone's gonna say, like, oh yeah, a lot of stuff isn't directed and written by one guy, like a lot of TV shows. Twin Peaks, for example, like, one of my favorite shows. You know, freaking David Lynch only did a few episodes of that himself, and, like, everybody else is, like, guest directors. But they had a good show bible. They had, like, everything down, and also, like, the inconsistent tone of that show is it feels right because it's like a kind of like a surrealist experience. It's like, so everything's like dream logic. Everything's, like, connected. There's, like, a whole bunch of different, like, weird shit going on, but it's all kind of connected, but with like a tangential thread, I guess. Whatever. But, like, True Detective Season 2 doesn't feel like that at all. It's like, there's, it just feels like it's a big fucking mess. You know what I mean? That's all I can say about it. Really, it's like a giant mess. Like, there's too many characters, for one thing, to focus on. Like, they have Vince Vaughn's, like, a gangster, and then they have, like, 3 cops, and they all feel like they're in their own show, which is, in each of their shows, is pretty fucking cool. Like, I'd watch a show about one or two of those guys, like, getting up to shit, you know what I mean? Like, I'd watch, like, Vince Vaughn and, what's the dude's name? Colin Farrell is the corrupt cop on that show. Like, Colin Farrell. Yeah, he is. Yeah, but, like, I'd watch a show about those guys getting up to, like, gangster politics and being, like, spooky and, doing, like, weird corrupt cop shit and trying to run casinos and have, like, land deals. That's definitely a plot in the show, and it's, like, a good show in itself. But then you, like, mix all this other shit in, and it's not that great. Like, because they have, like, there's this guy who's, like, a motorcycle cop, and he used to be, like, a mercenary or whatever, and, like, his gay friend, and, like, his weird, like, he's got a weird mom who's, like, kind of incesty, like, vaguely, and, like, and Rachel McAdams is in it, and she's like, her character got fucked by, like, she got like fucking like assaulted by like an evil like Charles Manson looking hippie like in the woods like when she was like younger. So now like she has this whole thing about she wants to stab dudes, and like she finally does it in one episode, and then she realizes it wasn't that great, and I don't know. It's kind of like it's a mess. There's all these tangents that don't exactly kind of come together. There's not really like there's a vague plot about people trying to do a land deal, and like there's prostitutes involved, and there's like blackmail, and there's like a gang of guys who like worship like Mexican folk saints. They do like something about like Santa Muerte, and like that's their whole like thing, but they're not really like it's not like what their shit's based around. I don't know. It's weird. Well, like and those guys are really cool, and they have like a creepy thing. They could easily have their own show. You know what I mean? Just like this like Mexican like gang that's trying to like run in on like other people's territory. You know, that's fine. I could see that. That'd be cool. You know, but not mixed in with all this other shit. They only have like 9 episodes. They're an hour. You know, you can't have like every one of these like plot lines like happening. It's just we got to focus on 2 people and not the boring shit about these. You know, about these characters either. Because like like another one of the things is like Colin Farrell's character. The whole deal with him is like his wife got raped a long time ago, and he thinks he like murdered the rapist, and like his freaking like his son might be like the like because of that, you know, instead of like actually like coming at his balls, you know. So that's a big deal. But it's super boring though compared to like the rest of the shit that's going on, and they spend a long time focusing on this custody battle. Like this sad fat kid like walking around getting his shoes stolen, and like, you know, having like uncomfortable conversations with his dad, and like doing a bunch of weird stuff. And it's not that fun. It's just not like it's not fun to watch, you know. There's cooler stuff on the show that's happening, but they focus on like on this like weird custody battle like a lot. And it's like I don't know if they're trying to like maybe kick back to like season 1. Woody Harrelson's character had like a ton of problems with his family, so they just kind of like needed to connect like tonally those 2 shows. I could imagine that's what it is, but it's like it's a misstep. It doesn't work out properly. And whatever else, yeah. And there's just like a whole lot of the stuff in the show, and this is weird. I don't know how right I am about this, but it seems like there are a ton of Twin Peaks references, like in the show, to the first season. Like I saw one of them before I saw in the first season, in the second season, I'm sorry. But before I actually saw season 2 of this, I found like something that came up on social media about like, ooh, there's like a Twin Peaks reference. I think I saw it on Tumblr. It was like they were trying to connect it. Like there's a guy who looks like Bob in one of the scenes from Twin Peaks, and you know that is it's that spooky guy with the hair. But anyway, yeah, like the evil hippie that banged Rachel McAdams' character when she was a little kid, fucking like molester hippie guy in the woods. Like he has a weird like Bob like smile, I guess. So and there's like an episode where she goes and like infiltrates this like this fancy hooker party with like a whole bunch of people to try to like I'm not even sure why they're there, like why she's there. It's a weird episode. I'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, like they kind of connect it to Twin Peaks because he smiles kind of like Bob, and he's like hey hey hey, and like people meet Bob when they're like a little kid or whatever, and he does like weird shit to him, and you know ends up possessing their body. But okay. There's so much other shit in that show that's like Twin Peaks. For example, like mid-season, one of the characters gets shot in like kind of like a first season Twin Peaks style, you know, and there's like a little cliffhanger as to whether he's dead or not. And he has kind of like a weird experience, you know, in a place. Then like, you know, he talks to like his the ghost of his dad or whatever, and they say like weird esoteric shit, like kind of it feels very Twin Peaks. There's like there's a bar they hang out at pretty consistently, like a sleazy bar with like a singer who sings like kind of depressing music, like the Roadhouse in Twin Peaks. They go to the hooker party that happens. Like there's is that's a lot like the episode of Twin Peaks where they go to One-Eyed Jack's to get Audrey Horne, like out of being kidnapped or whatever, and like having drugs like pumped into her. It's pretty much exactly the same shit. Like there's a girl in there, who's infiltrating, and like these two dudes like roll up and they do a bunch of sneaky shit, and they're all dressed in black, and to like get like some information like from the place, and yeah, it's like the same shit, man. There's a lot of like stuff there, and I don't know if it's like just kind of coincidental or if the people who wrote it were like really excited about Twin Peaks, or if they just found out that like interest in that show is having like a resurgence or whatever, so they wanted to like connect their shit to it somehow, which is entirely possible. It's another problem I have with this season is it kind of like it feels like it was kind of written like by committee almost, like they're trying to involve like as many people as possible, like in like as many demographics, you know what I mean? Because like I don't know how popular the first season was. Like I know the people who like it really really like it, but not like a whole ton of people. It's not like Game of Thrones popular, or even like I don't know, Boardwalk Empire popular. Like nobody really like talks a whole lot about like True Detective. Oh man. Yeah, but it feels like they came in and like that's why there are so many characters, because like they need characters for a whole lot of people to like kind of glom onto. You know what I mean? They're afraid of just having two people that they really get like excited about, and like who they really get to know. Because it might like alienate like a demographic or something like that. So they just have like a lot of different characters that are like main like plot characters, but there's so many of them that you can't actually get like involved in who they are or like any of their development or anything. They're just kind of like there to be in the story for people who might want to watch them, if that makes any sense. I think it does. Also, there's a weird like the scene where the episode where the guy gets shot. Yeah, it's got some very weird shit going on in it, and I was really excited like when that happened, because like it felt like it was gonna get a little like super weird and gross, like the first season, like there was gonna be like a sex cult and it was gonna be all like frightening and shit like that. And then they did the same thing that they did with the first season, how they like they talk about like the Yellow King and like Carcosa and stuff like that, but they don't actually connect it to like the actual literary sources that it's from. They just kind of mention it and like leave it. Like, so in that episode, the guy, Colin Farrell's character, I can never remember anyone's character. There's another thing about the show, I can't remember anyone's fucking character names in it. Or Rachel McAdams, her character's named Antigone for some fucking, because her parents were hippies. But other than that, I can't remember his fucking name. So I gotta go by the actors. And I can't remember the one actor's name that plays the gay highway patrolman. He's awesome, though. Like, that's a cool character. I'd totally watch that guy in his own show. But as part of True Detective Season 2, he's just completely kind of, like, lost in, like, this sea of other shit that's going on. Anyway, so the guy goes to this house and he, like, discovers, like, a weird sex dungeon or something, like, with all these, like, animal masks and shit like on the walls, and it looks like super creepy and weird, and they're doing like some videography of like stuff that went down in there, and there's a guy with a bird head, and he comes out like a bird mask head, and he comes out and shoots the dude with a shotgun. And what that reminded me of was there's an artist from the 30s. Well, he's not like really from the 30s, but like he did a lot of work there. The work this came out in like 1932. The dude's name was Max Ernst, right? And he was kind of like he did a little Dada, he did a little surrealism. I think he did. He kind of like made his own like weird like style of art too, like kind of like reference like both those things. But one of his works, it's a book. It's like a graphic book called Une Semaine du Bon, which means a week of kindnesses in French, and that's what it is. It's like weird, like he like cut like a whole bunch of like different like prints out of like various books, and he made like new pictures with them all, in like a cut up style. But it ends up being like a whole bunch of guys with like weird animal heads. They're like really present in there and like doing like weird shit. And they're like stabbing people or like falling out of windows. There's like a whole bunch. There's a whole lot of like pictures in that. It's like a novel of pictures, is what like this whole thing was. And like the animal heads in there and the guy with the bird head totally look like stuff out of that book. I got super excited that it was gonna be like, the police, like it was gonna be like a corrupt cop and like either McAdams or the motorcycle mercenary guy were just gonna go up against like a freaking like a Max Ernst inspired like S&M cult or whatever. That would have been awesome. That would have been a sweet show. Surrealist sex cult versus gay ex-mercenary motorcycle cop, like, and one of his friends, but not all of them. That would have been fucking awesome. But they just dropped it. You never ever see like any animal-headed guys again. They never mention, like they do the thing in season 1 where they never mention like the work that they're referencing, which drives me crazy because either, especially for that, because I could see like in the first season they had like Carcosa and the Yellow King and stuff. I could see them like setting their like work in the universe of that, where like that whole like play and everything, like the King in Yellow, like is like a real work that actually like does stuff and like came out and everything, But like with this, it's just like, they just leave it. There's like they don't say anything about anybody that like involved with like the work itself, or they just like, and it doesn't make any sense either because they could totally easily have done that and made it really cool, or made like all the bad guys like do that, you know what I mean, like have them all like wear animal heads at like weird ceremonies. I don't know, it could have been awesome, but it's not. The show's not awesome. It's not good at all. That's what I'm trying to say. Man, this is going on a long time. Yeah, so I'm gonna watch the last episode, because I've gone this far. Like I pretty much marathoned it like last night. So that's probably another reason why I'm rambling and fucking incoherent, is watching True Detective for the last 7 hours. And I've just been like completely bored out of my mind and confused because I don't like this fucking season. But yeah, so I'm gonna watch it. If there are any fans or whatever who disagree, hit me up about it. We'll discuss it a little bit. Or, whatever. Or if you agree, shoot a fucking comment down there if you want. Yeah, man, like, I'm gonna watch the last episode just because I'm a fucking completionist. But, I just don't really care, It's just like, I can't see how it could get better at this point. There's no way they're gonna wow me. Unless the Max Ernst sex cult comes back suddenly, But I know it's not going to. It's just going to be like some like random shit and something about this guy's like son. Whatever. I don't, like I just can't be bothered. I hope this doesn't break the series, because like the first season was so fucking cool. You know what I mean? So I hope they get picked up for a third and they actually make it good. Like they fire all these other directors and writers and all this weird shit and just take it back to like where it was, like these four guys working on it, working on every episode, focus on one or two cops, you know, have like a creepy, like weird crime that's going on, like that's obviously just a fucking spook show, you know, get that nasty vibe that they had. Like they try to do that vibe, like the exact same vibe they had with the first season with the second season, but it's in a different place. You know what I mean? It's like it takes place in California, so like the weird, like swampy, like gross aesthetic they were like going for doesn't work anymore. You know what I mean? But they tried it. They tried to make it like the same shit. And it's not happening for me. But yeah, True Detective season 2 is crap. The end.